You've heard the attacks of weirdness, right? I mean, that's how this guy Tim Walz became the VP pick. He started going on MSNBC, and he started calling Donald Trump and J.D. Vance weird. And MSNBC viewers loved it. They've been using that attack line for the better part of a month, and that's frankly how Tim Walz got the nod. On top of the fact that they couldn't pick Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, because he's Jewish. Could you imagine the anti-Israel protests outside right now? I mean, it's bad enough in Chicago this week. My goodness. Had a Jewish VP pick, forget it. Burning the place down, a la 2020. But anyway, this weird insult is something they're continuing to go back to the well on. And there are worse insults to call people. I mean, you know, weirdness is, I guess, in the eye of the beholder. But I find it interesting that the people who are calling you weird, if you have more traditional beliefs when it comes to the country, when it comes to society, if you're not obsessed with things like abortion, I don't know. I mean, all I saw last night was abortion, 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 and a little more abortion, which at some point becomes pretty sick and twisted, if you ask me. But when that's all you got, you're going to go back to that well time and time again. So since weirdness is the thing that everybody is focused on right now, I was watching last night. I thought, gosh, I saw some pretty weird stuff. So I got 3 examples here to run through. This first one comes from Peggy Flanagan. She is Minnesota's lieutenant governor. She will be the governor of Minnesota if Kamala and Tim Walz end up winning, since Tim Walz is the governor of Minnesota right now. So here is Peggy Flanagan last night, early in night 1 of the DNC.
My name in the Ojibwe language is Gigi Wewadam Ukwe, or in English, speaks with a clear and loud voice, woman. I'm a member of the White Earth Nation, and my family is the Wolf Clan. And the role of our clan is to ensure that we never leave anyone behind. That's why I am supporting Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to be the next president and vice president of the United States.
Ma'am, your name's Peggy. Your name is Peggy, okay? That's what your name is. Your name is not whatever you said your name was. It's not like, you know, Elizabeth Warren and Pocahontas or Buffalo Calf Road Lady or something like that. Your name is Peggy Flanagan. Now, I know, you know, in one particular political party, you have to be able to check off some kind of a box. So even if you're a half Irish white lady who grew up in a suburb of Minneapolis, you have to somehow turn yourself into a modern-day Pocahontas. But, ma'am, your name is Peggy. Your name is not whatever,
My name in the Ojibwe language is Gigi Wewadam Ukwe.
I don't know. What are we doing? My name in Spanish is Pedro, by the way, if you want to know.
Yes, your name is Mundo, and that means world.
Yes, thank you, John.
The Ting Tings, that's not my name.
No,
we
I don't think
one?
so. Yeah. All right, next up here on our list is, you know, listen, the people that are calling you weird are doing stuff like this. Here's April Verrett, head of the SEIU union last night.
I am April Verrett, and I am the president of SEIU, representing 2 million service and care workers. We're all in for Kamala Harris because Kamala Harris has always been all in for us.
She's a real beauty.
We're all in for Kamala Harris.
You know, I think the purpose of having April Verrett, head of the SEIU union, last night speak is to make it sound so that when Hillary got up there, she came off as this soothing voice. Only April Verrett can make Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton sound soothing. John?
Well, I was trying to give Joe some parameters to work within. I think trying to make Biden not sound so flighty is the idea.
Well, she should have introduced him then if that was the case. Oh, my goodness.
We're all in for Kamala Harris.
Give me some of whatever she's taking. Holy smokes, that sounds like a good time. Woo! Boy. I mean, just the voice alone. Like in radio, you used to have those deep pipes to get a job. You used to have to sound like John Anthony. Then they realized that, especially in talk radio, whether it's, this format or sports, being interesting and being entertaining matters a lot more than how good your voice is. There are plenty of people now who do not have that voice and frankly don't need it. But in politics, there's still something to be said for how you sound. And I might have said to April Verrett, listen, appreciate what you're doing, but I can't put you on the stage, John. I just can't do it.
Did you see Katie Britt at the RNC? Right?
Yeah. Oh, man. Right. I'll listen to Katie Britt, 7 days a week, twice on Sunday compared to this.
We're all in for Kamala Harris.
Okay, that's enough. And then when it comes to just weird, bizarre things from last night, there was this. I had AOC yelling at me.
And I, for one, am tired of hearing about how a two-bit union buster thinks of himself as more of a patriot than the woman who fights every single day to lift working people out from under the boots of greed, trampling on our way of life.
On our way of life. Oh, yeah. Man, oh, man. If you enjoyed getting yelled at last night, well, you probably had a great time. I know some of you, get a little excited when you're getting screamed at.
I think
you like
there's
getting
a certain
punished.
amount of appeal on the left side of the crowd to be yelled at.
The guys that were getting vasectomies then were getting screamed at last night and getting punished verbally, and they deep down liked it. All they needed was a little whipping at the end of the night, and boy, they had themselves a day and a half in a 12-hour stretch. Vasectomy into getting yelled at, into getting, whipped, and boy, they're in recovery now for the next 48 hours. They had so much fun last night. Holy cow. But that's what you got a lot of last night, which not sure that appealed to a lot of Americans, but I guess it appealed to enough.